We are on the ZX4RR, the mini super sport. Inline 4, 400 cc's. Beast of a little race bike right here. Oh, it's like a little screamer. Alright, so I used to race Ninja 250s. I've ridden the Ninja 300, I've ridden the Ninja 400, I've ridden the ZX6s, I've ridden the ZX7s, the ZX9s, the ZX10s. I have never ridden a 400cc inline 4 super sport, so this is exciting. This bike just came out, this was just released this year, at least within the US. This bike is meant to be a track ready, small displacement super sport, but it's street legal. Obviously we could all go play in the streets with it. It's got lights, it's got turn signals, all kinds of cool functions from within street legal limits. As far as power goes, out of the box, brand new, straight from the factory, you're looking at very similar numbers to a tuned and built Ninja 400. So that's one of the things that a lot of people are saying is that should you spend $10,000, give or take, on a 400cc sport bike, or should you just go and buy a Ninja 400, build it out to be a race bike? I'll say, man, this does not feel like a Ninja 400. This feels very flickable. This does not feel like a bike that was made to be a street bike turned into a race bike. This feels like a race bike that was turned into a street bike. It's not as pitched forward as, say, a ZX6, so it's not uncomfortable. I do feel large on it. I am about 6 feet tall. This bike is pretty big, but it doesn't have a super low seat height. This isn't an entry-level cruise around town type of bike. This is an entry-level sport bike, which I love. I absolutely love. Oh man, it's fun. It gets up and goes. I just love the sound of an inline 4. It screams. And because it's such little tiny pistons, it's so cool. So a while back, I rode the new CF Moto 450 SS, which is a very competitive entry-level sport bike to this. It is priced a bit better than the ZX4. Excuse me, I keep wanting to call this a ZX6. This ZX4, the CF Moto is priced a little better, but Kawasaki has that reputation, and they've been racing small bikes for a very, very long time. The Ninja 250 feeder class was a great place for kids to get started. When I was racing these back in the day, I'd be racing against kids that were, 11, 12 years old on a Ninja 250. So this is something that you would throw in the track right next to like an RC 390 from KTM. I'd say it's very competitive on that. And man, does this thing want to just rip. The suspension is not fully adjustable. It is partially adjustable suspension. So if you are racing it, you still want to take it apart and do the things that you would need to do as far as setting the valves, the preload, all that. But you've only got an adjuster on one side, not on both. Looks like there's single function forks, one for compression and one for rebound. I will say I did just hit a reflector. It moved the whole bike to the side. It's a very light bike and it's very small tires. Ooh, we're doing freeway. Yeah! We didn't get to do freeway last time. 6-speed. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by that it's got 6 gears. Now with this camera, I don't know if I can do a full tuck. I'm also wearing an enduro helmet, so that might be kind of weird, but I'm just curious to see. Oh no, I cannot tuck. I'm too tall to tuck on this bike. So I feel like if I were to tuck, I would literally have to tuck with my head above the windscreen. I can't tuck behind it because of the seating position and the shape of the tank. So, if you are 6 feet tall, keep that in mind. This tank comes up pretty high. It's not scooped down like the ZX6 is. It's not as elongated as the ZX6. The distance from the bars to where my hips are is too short for me to lean forward all the way. I'd say the perfect target for this is somebody who is coming off of a small bike, let's say like a Grommer Z125, looking to get into something that is still lightweight, still small capacity, but faster, and can go to the track. I think that's the target audience, is somebody who really wants to go to the track. This is a good street bike, don't get me wrong. But if you're that size, you're probably a bit young and you're not commuting necessarily on the bike. I could be wrong. Imagine how awesome it would be to be in high school and roll up on this thing, man. You would be so popular with that. How I've missed that sound. So there is a shift light. I don't know if you can see it from my camera, but there is a shift light here on the tachometer, which is a digital tachometer. It is flashing at me saying shift, 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 but I'm only at 6,000 RPM. Red line on this thing isn't until 16,000 RPM. So this is an adjustable shift light. You can go into the settings and you can change where to hit that. Because this is a demo bike and because this only has 2,000 miles on it, it looks like it starts flashing to shift at 4,000. Let's see where it cuts off at. Yeah, 4,000 RPM is the suggested shift. That's too low. That's break-in shifting. Go, go, go. On the little Eliminator 450. Cool cruiser. Because it's such a small displacement, there's not much engine braking. Similar to like a two-stroke in some regards. You let off the gas and it just keeps going. It says I'm getting 49.5 miles to a gallon. How cool is that? I was hoping it would do lean angle, but it does not. Wonder why the Versus doesn't lean angle. It does not like lower RPMs to be lugged. You gotta keep it high up there. Again, very similar to a two-stroke. But this is not a two-stroke. Don't get me wrong. I've said that twice now. This is not a two-stroke. This is a four-stroke motorcycle. I think that this bike has enough power to do wheelies if you were in a closed, safe environment and in a place where you could do so. Alright, and that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the ride of 2023 Kawasaki ZX4RR. Please remember to keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. Now, I got to thank Mainland Cycle Center down here in Lamarck, Texas for allowing Kawasaki to come out. And I got to thank Kawasaki for coming out because, man, I love doing these videos and I love doing these demo rides. I really hope that my insight, my comments helped you better understand what to expect of this bike if it's something you're looking for. If you have questions about it, don't hesitate to ask. If you've got one of the bikes and you love it, let me know. If you got one of the bikes and you hate it, let me know. I doubt it though. It's a cool bike. And that is a wrap.